I got slammed in the cash cup, and here's what I learned to qualify every time and maybe even make some earnings. 1. Follow the 10-second rule when landing. I kept dying early game by not knowing when to pursue a player off spawn. Sometimes I'd think a player was defenseless, push, and get slammed. Sometimes I'd be fearful of an early fight, potentially let a defenseless player leave, losing out on points. Or sometimes I'd be right and get the kill, but that seemed more like a lucky guess rather than planned out or skill. So I devised an algorithm to follow every game to assure success, the 10-second rule. In 10 seconds after landing, a player cannot get stacked or be on a higher playing field than you. So, if you land on a shotgun and you see an enemy in a building over, pursue for 10 seconds, and if you get the kill, then you get the kill. But after 10 seconds, a player can easily become a tier up from you and make an unfair fight. So back off at that point. Say you land on a shotgun and he lands a building over. He lands in a room with a big pot floor spawn and a chest. And say that chest has a shotgun and another big pot. Pretty ideal, but not uncommon. In only 12 seconds, this man will have searched the chest, gained 100 shield, and equipped a formidable weapon. Meanwhile, you thinking you have the advantage has spent your 10 seconds running over to him and have not disengaged after that timer was up. And you might even hit him for more damage, but he hits you for at least 100 white and you're dead. Back to the lobby. This rule of thumb is really good to follow in tournaments, especially when those early kills matter, but losing games in a couple seconds matters too. Tip number 2, don't overcompensate for tournament play. In tournaments, especially these solo cash cups, I was changing my playstyle completely. I'd land in these contested drop spots, but since I didn't want to draw attention, I wouldn't try to build if I saw someone because I didn't want to go really high and draw a lot of attention. Although the problem is, that is just putting yourself at a disadvantage. And the second someone shoots a shot anyway, you're still going to have just as much attention since everyone in the POI will hear or see that visual sound effect. So yes, don't change your playstyle up that much. If you build a lot in ranked, then build a lot in tournaments. The only thing I would change up for tournament play is possibly the loot you carry. Since cash cups go to heal off a bunch, you might want to carry more white health, but even so, your loot at endgame will be way different than off spawn. So off spawn and mid game, play relatively similar to ranked, keeping in mind how many people are still alive. Tip 3, take height or stay inside. This goes back to off spawn fighting or mid game fights, but if you get into a fight, don't do what I did and limit your building. You're gonna get attention anyway, so you might as well crank up to be above everyone and have an advantage against the person you're fighting, as well as a view of anyone else trying to sneak up to third party. This means you can also disengage at any time and waterfall down if you see more people pushing the structure. Of course, if that isn't your playstyle, then just play inside. Playing inside of buildings, you are limited by a roof, so you don't need to spend as much mats. This means if you get piece control inside with cones, stairs, or walls, you win the fight. Piece control in buildings is so important because people can't add it out of a sidewall. If you get the front piece and a cone under them, they're dead. This type of fighting also doesn't get as much attention since people can't see a massive structure in the sky. It's just a building that fits into the natural POI. All they can hear is possible shots. 4. Don't be the first person to go for the medallion. If you land in a medallion POI, wait. And if other people go for it, you can pounce, but they'll probably have the same idea as you, which is to wait. So many people land these POIs, but the boss just sits there. So wait until a couple people at the location have died out or rotated to even think about it. But the best time to go for it is to wait for storm to close. Once storm is right behind you, then you'll know there aren't people behind you rotating into your POI. Thus, if you go for the boss, anyone beelining to attack you will be coming from safe zone and you'll know the direction they're coming. Also, with how these tournaments go, you can sometimes wait for zone to actually consume the full medallion POI and bring white heals to fight in zone to just erase the possibility of third party potential and just fight someone in zone. Or there's circumstances where you won't be contested at all and possibly have zone actually kill the boss for you so you don't have to. Tip number 5. Don't be greedy. If you get a big hit and they run into a city that could have a lot of people, let it go. This is a cash cup we're talking about. No reason to end your game because you got jumped by a bunch of people chasing someone into Reckless Railway. You have to know you won't get third partied if you want to full chase someone across the map. So the way I cope with letting kills go is that thinking whatever big hit or beam I got will help me later with Storm Surge. Half these Cash Cup games go to Storm Surge at some point or another, so just think about that and hold yourself back, knowing if you stay alive, that damage will still help you later in the game. 6. On the flip side, capitalize on greed. If you're set up in a good position, you know, on the outskirts of a POI, high ground or something, take some pot shots at kids and watch them turn focus and push you with a downhill disadvantage. In opens, people will be greedy. You can get people to start pushing at you over nothing. And it's honestly even better if you miss most of your shots until they're closer, so at that point, they can't disengage or heal easily. And on the topic of this video, I hardly see anyone in the Fortnite scene discuss their errors and setbacks as if they aren't the best learning experience. Yes, I got slammed in a cash cup, but I learned from it. So if you like this more relatable style of content, please invest in the channel, and you can say you're OG, subscribed before 12,000. And bonus tip, since you are here watching a cash cup video, let me tell you why high mesh builds are way better for competitive. You know, like regular builds over mobile builds. It has multiple advantages that no one talks about right here. I used to use low mesh builds, but these ideas made me change. Thanks for watching, use code reidtheninja, and on that note, I'm signing off.